All right. It's working. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
We had a slight lawnmower delay. It's so funny because I'll kind of pay attention. I'm like, okay, the crews are here, then they're not here. I'm like, it's so quiet. I'll go outside. We'll do coffee club on the deck. And no word of a lie, it's like as soon as 9 o'clock hits, the lawnmower is right beside me. And I was like,
It's always that way. Or like everything
oh,
in the house is working well, and then all of a sudden your internet goes down and power is out and
all of the things. But it's so beautiful. And we have it's going to be hot for the next few days. We have such beautiful weather that, because everyone, I think, says like everyone's doing this, like, oh, summer's over and it's back to school. Well, summer doesn't technically end until the 22nd of September. So I
yeah.
am in full on summer mode until then.
I know I'm wearing my little summer dress.
I know. I am too. So it's just like, whatever.
Who says?
Who says? Summer
I
forever.
know
That's
it's
what
gonna be a doozer this weekend. Are you ready for this weekend?
I'm not sure. I I have some interesting apprehensions, I think, because I'm very susceptible to heat stroke. So I was
Okay.
like, okay, how am I going into this
We're
smart?
gonna get you in the mud and keep you cool. I'll
I'll just
slather
have
it
to
all over you.
I'll just have to stay laying there the entire time. Like,
So if
just
anybody's wondering what we're talking about, we're going to Mud Girl tomorrow.
mud girl.
It's
Mud girl.
tomorrow. Oh my
I know.
God. I'm
I
so
can't
excited.
believe August disappeared.
I know.
Part of that, I was away for a good chunk of it, so it's fine, but it just disappeared. But yeah, as we're stalling. Okay, as you start, I see people starting to come and join us. Say hello in the comments as you join Coffee Club this morning. We're just catching up on life while we wait for you to join us. So for those of you who catch this on the replay, hang in there. We're getting to it. Do you have a dog?
Yeah. I have 2 dogs here.
Well, that's a surprise. I was not expecting that noise.
Yeah.
Love it. You're puppy sitting. Good for you.
Yeah, I am. Until I take them back to the house on my way to work.
Yeah, it's good. Good morning, Angie.
Riley.
Yeah, it's going to be a good. So Angie's our local weather girl.
Love it.
She's been warning me of the heat wave for about 3 days, so I'm ready for it. I didn't even leave the house yesterday. I'm going to be honest with you.
Really?
I just stayed cool all day.
It's
I didn't even know it was hot. Yeah. I'm preserving my energy for this weekend because it's going to be big. That's one of the things we're going to talk about getting started is not only is there a big Mud Girl event for tomorrow, but it's been a really busy week within the city of Calgary because the city is celebrating Calgary Pride Week, which we're really excited about. And I've been watching people's photos. There's been I loved watching a friend of mine. They went to like an all ages drag show and she has little kids and the whole family was celebrating and having fun and dancing. And it's been so cool to watch and see. Yeah. It's been so fun. So
yeah,
I love seeing everybody's pictures. Yeah.
Or my friend.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Now it's probably best I don't say girlfriend because then
then we're like, oh, what? Who? I know.
Who are you talking about?
But it's like, I guess too, from a hetero, like sometimes you say guy friend, sometimes you say boyfriend, even though he's not a boyfriend. You know, language is language. We overthink it, I think. But
sorry.
Welcome to Virtual Coffee Club. We're really excited that Tamara is back on the show with us this morning to have a fun conversation, to check in and give us some lovely details of what you know that's happening for Pride this weekend. Good morning, Pamela, one of our favorite people. She's like, awesome humans. I'm like, I love that woman. She's going to be on
here. I don't even see where's the chat. Is it just off to the side?
You probably don't see it. I can put there. Does that help? She's there. We're there. It's Friday. There's always glitchy things on Fridays. It's because it's Fuck It Friday. It's just what happens. So I want to say, when was the last time we chatted with you? Was it in June?
Oh, it's been a long time.
You're like our official Pride spokesperson you've become. But I think it's just because I think for people, if they wonder, like, why does she keep talking to just this one woman about pride? And really, it's because I think you are like one of my dearest, closest friends. And I've been watching and been a part of, I think, front row seat of your journey of coming out, of living an authentic life, the highs and the lows
Oh, and the lows.
that go with that journey,
Mhm.
your being a part of your new relationship and seeing the two of you and how you're navigating what that looks like. Like, you're the closest, I guess, experience I have in that. And so I'm proud of it and I think it's beautiful. And I know how much of a struggle that it has been for you. And when the highs are high and when the lows are low, just like life. And so I continue to ask you to share that. And I love that you're open to do so. So thank you for being here again.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm certainly not an expert in the department of certain topics, but I would like to believe I have some skin in the game of trying to navigate this world in amongst shame and fear and hatred, um, unacceptable behaviors. Just as people are just trying to live and love. Like, my mantra has always been, be the change you want to see in the world. And obviously it's not my own, but that's what I've adopted as how I'd like to live. And also, how do we live with grace and ease in amongst that chaos? And if there was anything that the last 4 years has really helped me through, is that it has to be worth it. It has to be for something. And I just
Yeah.
have to have faith that it will all work out. And as much as there's some really, really not great moments and some real big, huge struggles, especially with relationships and family and the new dynamics of life and starting over at 49 and stuff like that, and still try to maintain my beautiful relationship with my kids and rent and everything. Like, it's one moment at a time.
Yeah.
But with people like you and people in my life that only have love and encouragement and truly support me, whatever that looks like, that makes a huge difference.
Well, I think at the end of the day, it becomes a story of loving people where they're at. And that's not
Mhm.
always easy. And I think that as humans, we are exceptional in the judgment category. It's a human trait that we master, regretfully so. But it's about knocking that down, and it takes time. And I think that celebrations like Pride allow community to celebrate how far it's come. And we've had some really great guests on the past shows, like Tom and like my friend Patrick, and lots of other cool people who've come in and explained sort of some of that history of Pride starting as a protest and transforming into what it looks like. And I think for most people nowadays, it's become a place of celebration. And I think, and I don't know if you have the answer to this because it happens just everywhere, but one of the questions that somebody asked me the other day that I didn't know the answer to was, if Pride Month is in June, how come there's Pride weeks that happen outside of that in different cities? And it's not the same in every city. I think
No,
Vancouver had their Pride week last
that
week
was
or the week
in
before. Or,
yeah, that was the very end of July
yeah,
was their Pride. Montreal was the week after. I don't know if there's anything specific, obviously, because for me, I just all around the world, let's just go from
yeah,
celebration to
every week
celebration and
Pride
see
week,
where you can
great.
support, right?
Yeah,
But I think it's just the communities deciding. Like for Okotoks, we decided to have a Pride festival in June, um, and it wasn't um, the same day as before, So
yeah,
I think it's just trying to establish, and I think it's really important that these communities are creating something that people can count on, or um, allowing a space that people can just be themselves and feel safe because they're in numbers.
Yeah.
You know, like so many people are dying from suicide and because they don't feel that they can be themselves and there's no hope. And so I think what's so important about these events, and I know that there's so many people that just don't get it. They don't understand, like, why should you have a parade? Well, if you want a parade, have a freaking parade. Like, you know, I think it's really important that even the LGBTQ youth have an opportunity to see people that they may actually connect with, not necessarily like verbatim, but just even feeling like I can be myself and whatever that is, and then have examples of what that looks like. And I know that I don't look like the normal, hey, Riley.
He wants to say his piece too. Yeah.
No. So I don't know. I think these events and these celebrations are the most important things, because until you know what it feels like to live in shame and not be authentic, I don't know why anybody is clapping back on that.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's trying to hurt anybody. I know that the representation always isn't necessarily the most positive, but where is representation consistent anywhere in positivity or kindness or keeping kids safe? Like, let's not get it started, you know,
Yeah.
like even last weekend, they had wrestling out on the street, yet that's acceptable.
Yeah.
You know, like where are the protests and people freaking out on Facebook in our community saying, how dare they?
Yeah.
How dare they show that treatment to others, whether it's pretend or not? So is drag shows. So are like,
Yeah.
like, what is the problem? You
It's
don't like it, don't go.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm getting all
That's
fired
okay.
up.
It's okay. That's okay. So for you as a woman who you came out later in your life, we know that story. We know that journey and what that's been. When it comes to Pride Festival, and I know you going into this weekend, it's going to be a party. But what does that mean to you? Like, what does showing up to that parade, to those events, to seeing that community, what does it mean to you? What does it do for your heart?
Well, in the past, because like in the past, I never shown up authentic, and I was just so happy for everybody. So happy. And I felt like it brought people together and people can express themselves. And it was just about happiness, really. For me this year, this will be the first time I get to authentically show up with my girl in my hand, you know, like that to me is an area I never thought I would be. I was very happy in my life, and now things are changed. And now I'm trying to figure out what this life looks like and what I can create for the rest of my days. And I'm really excited about it, even if there's moments that, especially you or some of my other close friends that may see me in the low part of this transition and this finding my way. I just want to keep reminding myself that it is going to be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see that. And I think for anybody who has never participated in a Pride event because you felt unsure or you don't know what to expect or any of those hesitations that might stop you from partaking in that, I want to say every time that I have gone to any event over the years, and there's been several, is that when you step into that space, the energy there feels like freedom.
Yeah.
And it might be only in that moment for some of those people. It might be only in that space for some of those people. It might only get to be for that time frame that they are stepping into that, but it feels like freedom, pure joy, freedom. It doesn't feel scary. It doesn't feel negative. It doesn't feel sexual or whatever other crazy labels
Nothing to do
people
with
put on
that.
it. When you step into it, it feels like joyful freedom. And I don't know about you, but as a human to another human, I want every person in this world to feel like that in that moment.
Yeah.
That's what it's about to me, to what I hope that it is for the people in that community and their allies and all of the things around it. It's just, yeah, like Corey says, it's just love. And it is so fun. And it's
Well,
not all
and
the other
also,
crazy, judgy things people say. And I've seen a few doozies on a few Facebook pages of late. And
yeah, it's quite sad
you're the
what
one.
I've
I
seen.
feel like those people are the ones that are bringing the weirdness into it, not
Mhm.
not the LGBTQ2S plus community.
No. I think it's really interesting on those moments of coming together, you know, the representation that you may see, the connection you may see, but really even just the creativity. Like it's an art form, you know, like of like the drag kings and queens and the shows that are put on and the events and everything. It is art.
Yeah.
Like it is
And the
so
work that
beautiful.
they do as artists to produce that,
Oh, and a lot of them are more
phenomenal.
gorgeous than we are. I
I,
love it.
I was
I'm
like,
like, I'm like, can
I
you
always
do
sit
my
there,
makeup, please?
I sit there thinking I should wear more makeup because I love that look. It would be a little bit overwhelming, I think, for me, but
Well, and it
it's
comes in
so
all
beautiful.
sizes too, like
Yeah.
what acceptance looks like.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I just love it, like, because really, like, releasing the shame, living without fear, like,
Yeah.
there's more freedom in that. Like, it's very interesting.
Okay, I feel like I want to say something, and I don't know if it walks us on a line, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Bring it.
But one of the things that I really love is, so your coworker and mine and friend of ours, Tom, who's been on the show before, is known as Birthday Girl, as drag queen. And Tom is a bigger built person,
Hmm.
curvy. And the
And
thing that I
gorgeous.
think that I love is, as Birthday Girl, she is curvy and voluptuous and big and proud and beautiful and dances, and it's beautiful. And not a single person brings up her size, her weight, her figure, her anything. It is
No.
just pure performance love. And you
Yeah.
don't get that a lot in any
No.
other aspect of our world.
Yeah.
And it's just an example. I feel I bring it up as an example of the acceptance, the freedom, the love of that. And wouldn't we love people of all size to also be celebrated? The same as race, the same as um, yeah, sexual orientation, gender, non-gender, whatever the piece is,
Yeah.
just celebrating who people are. That's
Yeah.
it.
Whatever they want to believe.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, and I think too that people don't, I think I think there's a good chunk of the world, and I could be wrong and you can correct me on this, but I think there's a good chunk of the world that is like kind of whatever. They don't necessarily have a flag to support as an ally, but they're not speaking against it at the same time. They're sort of sitting in the, what I like to call the gray blob bubble. They're the whatever people.
Right.
And they're not for or against, but they're just there. I think what would be lovely is for them to experience some of the color of the acceptance, because I don't think they realize, that group, the dark side of what really happens in those who really promote the hatred side of it. I don't think the gray whatever people understand the other side of it. So they don't realize what that feels like. They don't realize how many lives are lost because of it. And they don't know what's really happening. And so my hope and my dream is that it's not about convincing the whatevers to whatever. It's showing them, by not loving all people, people are dying.
Yeah.
And they just
Every
don't
day,
know.
all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't know. And I
Well,
don't know how
even
we change that other than keeping on celebrating, but I just feel like people need to understand it's just beautiful. And
heck
they're
yeah.
not, you go to a pride parade and you're celebrating in joy, and people aren't having sex in the street or any of the weird shit that I've seen
Yeah.
posted online that I just have to call out for a moment because you're just being ignorant. And the world does not
Yeah.
have time for your ignorance.
Yeah.
You don't have to show up, you don't have to be a part of it, you don't
No.
have to love it, but don't be ignorant, because that's a choice. Ignorance is 100% a choice.
Well, and also too, like even with people in your life that are no longer in your life because you've come out, or relationships have drastically changed or have been lost because of it. Like, I don't understand where the disconnect is. Like, you know, I went to a family gathering recently, and we were, you know, reasonably accepted.
Mhm.
And a couple of family members were very like they were really overcompensating, and not in a weird way, of just like really showing love
Yeah.
and spending time with us. And then there was a couple that were not, and I've known these people my entire life, and it was just really sad, because what happened to that love that you had for me? Wouldn't you want that for my future? Even if you don't understand it, you don't need to. All you need to know is that you love me and you want to see me happy.
Yeah.
And accepting me and whoever I love. Like, the sad thing is it would have been more acceptable for me to bring another man.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't get it. And then here, you know, myself and my girlfriend and my ex and his girlfriend were all there, and we were having a great time.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, I'm sure that that was a little too much for people, because they're like, how can you even be friends? Like, because we love each other. Like,
Because we
we did.
chose to.
Well, and also too, our marriage didn't end because we didn't love each other. It
Yeah.
didn't end because we fought.
Yeah.
It ended because I chose to live authentically, and I couldn't continue to put him into a space of him compromising
Yeah.
what love looks like for him.
Yeah.
Like, I love him too much to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it was hard, because also I've recently decided to fully try to cleanse myself, and sometimes I fall into the wishing people would like me, because that's been my whole entire life, and that
Yeah.
I'm a good girl and stuff like that. And I want people to recognize that. But I'm not here to talk anybody into anything anymore. I'm not here to really give a shit on what anybody thinks of me in my life. Like, go live your life. How about you look in the mirror
Yeah.
and see?
But I think
Because
that
really,
we're
see,
conditioned so much to think that everybody has to like us, agree with us, love us, and they
yeah,
don't,
yeah,
and they won't. Because think of like, whenever I get caught in that a lot too, of being like, oh, I don't think that person likes me, and then I'm like, do you like everyone, Jody? No, no, I do not.
no, I do not.
So not everyone's gonna like me back, and that's
Yeah,
fine. But it's
yeah.
weird. It's weird. I think that's a struggle, regardless of. We went on a couple of tangents today. I love this.
Mm.
I don't know if we talked about the things we were set out to talk about, but we
Well,
got some things to
we could
express.
talk about the fun
But
things that are going to be planned in
yeah,
Calgary and area.
let's talk about the parade for sure, because I think this one is like really fun, and you can like bring the kids and enjoy a cool parade and step into some of that expression of love and freedom and joy. And so the parade is Sunday. Can you tell us a little
Sunday.
bit about where, when, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it starts at 11 o'clock. It's on 9th Avenue. Let me see. I wrote some notes just so I would make sure. It starts along 9th Avenue, and the parade itself starts at 6th Street and then ends at Fort Calgary. because then Fort Calgary at noon starts a big, huge festival. And it's like, I think it's until like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And there's entertainment and food trucks and booths and music and celebration. And I think there's a beer garden.
Perfect.
Yeah. So this will be the first year that it's on this on 9th Avenue. It's normally, I think, on like 6th or something like that. Yeah. And it's the first time, I believe, that it's going to also be at Fort Calgary for the festival. So we'll see what that looks like. Hopefully it's going to be a big, huge party. But everybody can go on calgarypride.ca and you can find out all of the festivities that are happening, because they've actually started last week.
They started last weekend.
Yeah. And I think they run until Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So there's quite a few different things. And then also you can see a little bit more of like where to park and stuff for the parade. I would probably highly suggest, C-Train.
Yeah.
That would probably be your best bet. And wear whatever you want.
Yeah.
Anything goes that day.
Well, and probably not a lot of it, because it's going to be like
a hot
degrees. So yeah, don't wear your full black polyester jumpsuit.
And we normally, when we're on the in the past years, when I think it was like 6th Ave or whatever, you're protected by a lot of the big buildings from the sun, and this one you'll be a lot more exposed and stuff. So
yeah. So pack according for some heat and sun. We know how to do that.
Yeah.
And
we're going to a drag show on Sunday, you and I, and
can't wait.
My girlfriend and our friends.
Yeah, it's going to be such a good show. And I love Twisted. I think it's such a cool establishment to go to, and they always have cool shows, and I'm really looking forward, because the show we're going to on Sunday has quite a few of the I don't know if they were called stars or guests or contestants. I don't even know the right word, but for Canada's Drag Race.
Yeah.
So it's like top level.
I know. This is going to be so fun. I was so sad yesterday. I just found out that one of my favorite drag kings, I think it's Landon.
Yeah.
Landon Cider, I think it is, was going to be at Twisted last night. I'm like, he's like the best of the best.
Yeah. Just so like, if no one's ever gone to a drag show before, I recommend it. They're hilarious. They're talented. It's always so much fun. And yeah, like they're better than comedians.
They're just so good. So good. But there's like if you don't want to go to Twisted, there is it Dickens or Dickens, I think it is, Dickens Pub. The Marriott Hotel is having something, the Palace Theater. It's endless.
Yeah. All kinds of things to do all weekend long. Here's the website if you are in the Calgary area and would like to check it out. If you are watching from somewhere else and you know of some cool Pride events that are happening, maybe in your community, celebrating on a different week this year, or whatever that looks like, please feel free to throw that into the comments, because
and invite us
from all over. Yeah, we'll come.
We'll come and
play. Road trip. It'll be so good. So just really looking forward to a fun weekend. And Tamara, I'm so proud of you, and thank you so much for sharing your authenticity with us today, because I think that the more that we can show humans living a life on Earth the best way that they can, I'm hoping the more love and acceptance we can get from our fellow humans. So thank you.
Me too. Isn't that all we want?
Yeah. It's really the goal at the end of the day. So let all the other shit go, everyone. Just let it go.
Yes, please let it go. And let go of the old hurts and the stories that we've told each other or told ourselves. Yeah, just absolutely. Be you and be love.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. Hang on. Trellis left a message there. Yeah, walk in your own spirit and love. Thank you, everybody. There's been quite a few comments. We're just like rolling through here, but thank you.
We're spoiled. We're spoiled at work because We're quite heavy on the LGBTQ and diversity.
Yeah. Well, and can we talk about that for just like
Yeah,
one
let's do
quick
it.
sec? Can we give that company a plug? And so I just wanted to give a shout out to Key Instincts. Now, this is a company that um, walks their walk or talks their talk or whatever that right phrase would be, because I think the majority of the staff are in the LGBTQ community. So I think that's pretty awesome. So there's not a more accepting, lovely place. And what you guys do as a company is beautiful in that there's workshops that other companies can do to bring you in to help talk about diversity in the workplace and what
And
belonging
belonging.
can look like in the workplace, and
Mhm.
how to have your staff across your board feel like they belong to something that is safe and kind and beautiful. And Key Instincts comes in to assist with that. So when I got the opportunity to come on board to post social media posts for this company, I was like, damn right, Skippy, I can't wait to keep sharing what this company does. And so I'll let you speak to that. But Pamela Morgan is, yeah, she's an incredible angel in
I
this
bow
world.
down to that woman. She
Yeah.
is full, wholeheartedly love and support, and and just allows a safe space, and also too, like you were saying, like being a human resources company, like we need to set the precedence of what we are trying to let our clients build, and help support them in building the company culture and the diversity and the health and wellness. Health and wellness isn't just what you put in your body, but what you think about, what you create. So it has been probably one of the main highlights of through the pandemic was me joining the KI team, Key Instincts, and just what we're creating is truly an honor to just even be able to sit alongside people like you and Pamela and Tom and Jamie and whoever else is going to be invited to the table, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And I love, in
So love
talking to
it.
Pam yesterday, she just made a joke. She's like, well, I'm outnumbered now, so it's good.
Got to
And
keep
it's,
her on her toes.
yeah, it's just beautiful, and it's just creating a workspace. And I think what's neat about in watching and in helping to tell that story is the things that you as a company suggest or provide or tell or recommend for a company to do, you do it yourselves.
Mhm.
So you're living in that every single day. So it's not a company telling you what you should do because it's going to be the most politically correct. It's, here's how we function as a company that's working beautifully, and here's how you can do it. And we can show you and tell you how to authentically be a company that
Yeah.
everyone belongs in. And how cool is that if we could have every organization around the world being a belonging environment
Wouldn't
for
that be just
everyone,
so beautiful?
right? Think of how many hours people spend at work. Okay. It's like this much of your life out of this. Like, it's
Yeah.
so huge. And if you
Yeah.
can be in an environment where you feel your safest and happiest and most joyful, and you're making a difference in whatever it is you do, would that be pretty phenomenal, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, especially there's some people that hide in work,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they are unhappy at home or unhappy in their lives, and so they just put their heads down and just try to
No.
forget. But if we can create a sense of kindness and peace and support, even in that area, like
Yeah.
I think also too, the problem is you may not know who is going through what. You may not know in LGBTQ world of who is struggling inside with their sexuality or the relationships in that way. And you may say something that could drastically affect them negatively or positively. But if we just continue to show love and kindness and support for our fellow man or woman or human
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, however you want to identify, um, like our world can just be such a better place.
Yeah. Sure can. I feel like that's the perfect place to end that, because we could probably talk all morning long and we both have to get to work. But thank you for that. And I hope people will go and check out some of the cool Pride things this weekend. Really looking forward to that parade on Sunday and having some fun with our circle of friends. So I think it's going to be amazing. Tamara, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Love you so much.
Love you too.